left 4 students dead. 15 school districts across the Detroit metro area were closed today because of threats of violence on social media. All this coming as we've learned more about the 15-year-old.
I wonder why there were immediately additional threats of violence happening in in the same school district. I wonder if this, like, I don't know how to hide this here, okay? I don't know how to go to news coverage that doesn't plaster this dude's face everywhere, this kid's face everywhere, but like, it's not the smart thing to do. But also, I wonder how this happens. I wonder why.
Now charged as an adult with first-degree murder and terrorism. The prosecutor says it was premeditated, pointing to what she describes as his disturbing social media posts.
Police say they have found a horde of graphic journal entries and disturbing videos made by the accused school shooter. I spoke with Sheriff Michael Bouchard.
I would characterize a lot of the stuff that we've now seen as dark and as cold-blooded.
One post from Ethan Crumbley declares, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds. See you tomorrow, Oxford." The quotation can be found in a gory video game.
I am become death, the destroyer of worlds.
This idea that like video games are responsible for violent behavior is the most psychotic and most like heavily debunked argument of all time. The distinguishing factor between video games and movies is negligible, okay? If that was the case, then violence also is a consequence of movies, okay? It's the same argument that anti-sex work people use against porn when they say, oh, porn is the reason why men are like behaving in a horribly misogynistic and violent way towards women. That's psychotic, okay? And it's so clearly fucking debunked so many times over, okay? It does not. Video games can lead to aggressive behavior, like an increase in aggression, in the exact same way that competing in athletic events does, okay? Organized sports and video games lead to similar levels of aggression, and that's it. It's negligible. It's not like reason for people that do school shootings at all. It's not video games. It's not movies, okay? These, at the end of the day, video games and movies are a reflection of society, okay? You need to look at the base material reality and solve the problems there rather than the reflection of that reality in the form of art. It is very fucking stupid to constantly harp on culture, non-fucking stop, as though if we fix culture, all of a sudden we're going to fix the realities. That's not how this goes, okay? Ridiculous that they are blaming video games for this. It's still like we're still in fucking Bowling for Columbine hours.
Several years ago, Crumbley made this video showing off his collection of violent games.
I want to. Oh my god.
Battlefield 4. Comment if you want to play that one. I hopefully will get to another Nazi Zombies video.
2 weeks before the shooting, Crumbley commented on this YouTube video of a 9mm gun being fired at a shooting range. He wrote, "This is the gun I'm going to use," with a smiley face. His father bought another gun, the one used in the shooting, on Black Friday.
Sir, do you understand all the charges against you?
Yes, I do.
Yesterday, his parents watched on a Zoom link from their car.
Gay jokes became taboo. Gay kids stopped being bullied. The ideas are proliferated through distribution. Dude, that is so fucking stupid, okay? It's not just like Birth of a Nation that created racism in America, okay? This is something that people cannot comprehend at all, okay? The main reason why gay jokes became taboo, the main reason why homophobia is not as acceptable as it once was in the 90s is because it became normalized through steady flow of activism and finally some legislation that accompanied it, okay? Not because people were like, oh man, you can't be homophobic anymore. It's so silly to fucking make this argument. It's never culture that like changes people's behaviors, okay? Yo, maybe stop calling that perspective stupid. It's well-founded. It's literally not. It is not well-founded. That is not true. That is not even remotely true. Psychedelic Gazelle, thank you for the 10 gifted subs. That's not a well-founded fucking take at all. El Presidente X, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Culture reflects a society's beliefs, okay? It's a mirror, okay? It is a fucking mirror. It doesn't have the capacity to... It only can normalize already oppressive existing structures, like Birth of a Nation, okay? Birth of a Nation is largely attributed to the fucking increase in clan mobility, clan movement. Why? Because America already had the white supremacist under the white supremacist values at its fucking core. Okay, you can't go to a country that isn't white supremacist in its foundation and magically fucking create that. Obviously, white supremacy is the worst example to use because there's very few places that white supremacy has not been, incredibly effective and has its like nefarious fucking clause in the underlying values that many people have and most of the fucking culture that people consume. But it's ridiculous. Okay? You defend this kid from being a killer and saying society is what causes it to happen and hate the video game's excuse. Is the same for Kyle Rittenhouse, where he brings his gun to defend from rioters stealing stuff and burning down places, yet you want Kyle Rittenhouse to go to jail? Well, I never said I don't want this kid to go to jail either. I think this kid and Kyle Rittenhouse are both incredible examples, as I've said about Kyle Rittenhouse since day one, are great examples for fucking rehabilitation. Except that's never going to happen to Kyle Rittenhouse because rehabilitation also factors in accountability. I'm not a fucking prison abolitionist across the board. Okay? So socialization and exposure to mass media has no influence. Obviously, a video game didn't cause it, but Karl Marx said the relationship is reciprocal. Video games and cultural consumption play a significant role in socially learned behavior, okay? Nature versus nurture. They play a significant role in nurture. But the culture itself is created as a reflection of the material conditions that we already exist under, okay? So changing like movies and making them nicer, or making sure that video games have no fucking violence is not actually going to magically clean up society. That is a pathetically liberal attitude to have, and it's devoid of any sort of materialist analysis. The relationship is reciprocal, but the base is dominant. The superstructure only reinforces the base. It doesn't change it. Exactly. That's a little bit, Karl Marx did not factor that in, but Gramsci did. Okay? Pete Buttigieg's father is the foremost authority on Gramsci in NA. But you can read his works, thanks to Pete Buttigieg's dad, in America in English. Anyway, but it is, I'm sorry, it is fucking silly to say like, oh, if we make all the movies good, all of a sudden people will be good. That's not real. It's not a real thing. And not only that, but there is also no empirical evidence to suggest that that's even a real thing. This is something that people constantly try to fucking hammer on because liberals have completely given up on changing our material realities in any meaningful capacity. So the only thing that people hyper focus on is culture, where they believe they can make change, because brands that want to appear as woke as they possibly can, because that's like the appropriate thing to do for them to reach out to as large of an audience as possible, they will literally fucking say, yes, we are going to listen to you and we are going to fucking eliminate the bad parts of our culture. You're right. You're so correct. So because of that, they'll fire people. And because of that, people think, oh, I can't make any sort of systemic changes, but I can have like some kind of tangible impact in the world by cleaning up culture. And that's precisely why people fucking hyper focus on dumb shit like this. Social along with economic conditions must be set for revolution, says Gramsci. Anyway, thank you, RMZ920 and Jeem State for the 5 get the subs. I don't know why you guys are doing that. We are reading Marx and superstructure in my English theory class, and that low-key helped me understand the concept. Someone also brought this up in a really, really meaningful and really good analogy. Okay, so I will mention it. I forget who said this, but it's like instead of cleaning yourself up, you clean your mirror up. Okay. Liberals want to clean the mirror. They don't want to clean themselves. You're not actually cleaning anything if you just clean the mirror. The mirror might be dirty, certainly. Okay. But you're not actually solving the problem. Just Gary's the one who said it? Yeah. Good job, Just Gary. Test. Good test. It's like trying to clean yourself up by cleaning the mirror and thinking that would affect you somehow. Yep. That's a great analogy. Good job. Anyway, as I was saying, liberals did not give up on making material changes. It was never the goal in the first place. When I say liberals, I don't mean like fucking, you know, small L liberals. I mean like all of the American public progressive and just everything that accounts for the American left, the Democratic Party, all the way to fucking socialists and shit, okay? I don't mean like people who are like, I'm ideologically a liberal, okay? And the silliest part about this is like, I mean, I've said this before, if violence against women is caused by fucking pornography, then why is there violence against women before the invention of pornographic materials? If violence in schools or violence in general is accelerated through our consumption of mainstream movies and media and video games, then why is there so much more violence before? It's almost like that has nothing to do with the reality that we exist under, okay? And everything to do with our material conditions. What stops unwanted teenage pregnancies? Okay? Becoming more wealthy. What stops violence? Or what makes it less likely? What makes people less likely to commit fucking violence, dude? Improving their material conditions. That's it. It was the goddamn cave paintings. Yeah, exactly.
Car as he was arraigned.
You are the parents of Ethan Crumbley, is that correct?
Yes, correct.
That is correct.
I'm Jennifer Crumbley.
James Crumbley.
Now they may face charges too.
Trying to pass.
This video shows him shooting hoops with his buddies, a regular kid from the neighborhood.
Today we are doing a little basketball game. 2 against 2 right now.
Now Ethan Crumbley is in isolation in an adult jail.
A candlelight vigil to honor the victims is planned for downtown Oxford on Friday night.
Anyway,